4, 3, 2. We're here today, day 2 of Diversified Mortgage Expo, here with Mobile Mailbox Money, Silvercrest Opportunity Fund, and Mark Monroe. Mark, I've seen you at a couple different conferences. Happy to continue the relationship out here in niche market, seller finance notes. Maybe if you could just introduce yourself quickly for the viewers that don't know you.
Sure. My name is Mark Monroe. I've been in the business, actually it's going to be 30 years in about 2 weeks. I've done about $500 million of real estate transactions. I tend to originate. I like to buy properties through seller financing, and then I typically will sell properties through seller financing, stay in the middle and create an arbitrage, almost sometimes kind of like a wrap, if you will. But I usually hold my notes. I usually don't sell them off because I love the passive income. So yeah, and I started back in Washington, D.C., and now I'm currently in South Florida, but I do business nationwide.
Boca Raton, Florida.
You got it.
So I see a lot of your social media, very active, educating people in notes. You're very open about doing so. A lot of free information you give out. Maybe you could just drop your @ real quick if someone were wanting to explore the information that you have.
Sure. I have a large Facebook group, about 164,000 members. It's called Seller Financing Homes. But if you want to follow me on social media, any of them, my website is Mark, the _ Monroe, M-A-R-K, _ M-O-N-R-O-E, and all the social media stuff. And then I also do some free training on Monday nights for people that want to learn how to buy properties through seller financing and how to have those conversations with sellers. Because the biggest thing where a lot of people don't realize is when you're doing approaching a seller and you're doing asking them if they'll be open to doing seller financing terms, and people don't realize this, but it's a marriage. You're in a long-term commitment for whatever term it is, 5 years, 7, 30, 15 years, whatever it may be. So when you have that conversation, this is what I really teach people and show them, is the first time you sit down and talk to them, think of it when you first talk with your spouse, your significant other that you're dating the first time. 80% of my phone calls just getting to know them. I want them to know me, and I want to get to know them. So that's where it really comes down to if you're trying to originate seller financing notes. And then you got these gentlemen where you can bring your note and sell it off and then just keep rinse and repeat.
Absolutely. It's important to know the proper way to do things, because there's a lot of stipulations and legal in order to do this as a proper investor. At the end of the day, I think the market is really forcing individuals to get creative, given the current pressure as well as the non-availability, sometimes to even cash flow a property. What's kind of your thoughts on what's developing here first quarter of 2025, and why are we forced to get creative?
Well, because a lot of times sellers are not selling properties, or the properties are not moving because the interest rates are so high. So one thing about seller finance, when you create notes, it's all negotiable. So you can negotiate. You may not qualify through your bank or because of the banks, you don't have the income or the credit or whatever it may be. Us as investors, we just like doing seller financing because we do a deal real quick. We don't have to jump through hoops. We know how to look at a property. We know how to evaluate a property. We know the condition. We know the markets. And that's kind of one of the main reasons why I really love seller financing. Just because it shifted so much in the last couple of years, there's so much information out there on social media. Just make sure the information you're getting is somebody that has been in the business a long time, for a minimum at least 10 years, if they're teaching you how to do stuff out there, because I see a lot of information that's people giving advice, and they're not even attorneys, and I'm not even an attorney. I always tell you what I would do, and then I always recommend you should always reach out to an attorney to understand a lot more about this. But don't get scared about it, because it's not as hard as you think it is.
Absolutely. That's why it's important to be at events just like this, because people do business with the individuals they know, like, and trust. And to be around seasoned professionals, it's worth its weight in gold to bounce off ideas, get some ultimate strategy to get down and ultimately do maybe even your first deal at the end of the day. So for quickly on someone wanting to buy notes, transferring from a conventional traditional real estate investment strategy, it's kind of a different thing to think about, that most people don't even know you can buy a mortgage. So maybe you could just touch lightly on that, being a note originator, having 500 notes, the blessings of the cash flow provided from that. What would you have to do to address that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're already out there doing seller financing, a lot of times people, and they're doing assignments, whatever, you should really learn how to do the game, because there's another whole area, because people are like, oh, I don't have the capital. But if you learn it, you can sell your note, and you can structure it in a way where you can do a first and a second, sell the first, get the capital back, and hold the second and get some pass. There's so many different ways of structuring it. And every time I come to one of these events, I've been in this a long time, but you keep learning and meeting different people, and somebody else is doing something differently. So, and just kind of collaborate, and you actually end up doing business together oftentimes. That's the reason why we're here. So I was on a podcast once, and somebody said to me, goes, what is the one thing that's different in our industry versus any other industry? I said, you know what it is? Your competitor. Your competitor is actually oftentimes your business partner. So that's one of the biggest things.
Love to hear that. Don't be afraid, at the end of the day, to come and tap people that you see maybe online to get their take, and just kind of let them know maybe what you're doing, and they may be able to help you get to that next level, or even start doing business together at the end of the day. So great to have you here today. Diversified Mortgage Expo, Aldo Guajardo with Mobile Mailbox Money, Silvercrest Opportunity Fund, Mark Monroe.
I appreciate
having me on the channel today.
Call me when it's over.
That's good, man. You're good at this. You're doing a lot of it. You brought all your equipment with you.